Well, WWE's been talking about it for a few weeks now. This is the Raw that Batista returns on. So sit back, relax, and watch yourself some Future Wrestling Observer. I'm Chris Helix, and you are watching Future Wrestling Observer. That's right, I'm back. I took some time off last week, only did one review. It was a DOA review. Go check that out if you missed it. But I was a little under the weather, but now I'm back. And of course, it's Tuesday. So what does that mean? Well, I've got to review something that happened Monday. January 20th edition of Monday Night Raw. Well, before we get to a match, usually I don't talk about the promos or the talking parts of WWE Raw or really any of the events I review. But it was Batista's return, and like any return, most of the time they don't do a match on their return. Batista came out, he talked some smack to Randy Orton, pretty much saying he was going to win the Rumble, and then Randy Orton would have to face him at WrestleMania. But I think people are forgetting it might be John Cena as well, unless WWE is just saying fuck it, nobody believes John Cena is going to win. Also, Batista came out and confronted Del Rio, but that's basically what happened for Batista's return. It wasn't really that great of a return. I was hoping he would do a match, but again, it's WWE. When people return, they don't usually do a match on their first night. He will be officially doing his wrestling return in the Rumble, the 2014 WWE Royal Rumble. Anyway, the first match was Big E Langston and the Rhodes brothers versus The Shield. And this match, it was pretty damn good. It was a 2-star match, and it ended with Seth Rollins getting the win on over Big E Langston. Thought that was kind of bullshit, and I really hope if they decide to do this United States and Intercontinental title unification, like people have been saying, so they'll bring in the unified era or undisputed era, whatever you want to call it, and just have 3 belts. Well, 4 if you count the Divas belts, but or the Diva belt, sorry. But I mean, I'm hoping that Big E Langston will win, because I think he's a better champion than Dean Ambrose is, and Dean Ambrose, he has the talent and everything there. I just think the Shield thing isn't letting Dean Ambrose be to the best of his abilities, and WWE is kind of holding him back. He would be a better champion later on, but right now, for storylines or gimmick-wise, whatever you want to call it, I think Big E Langston's the better champion and deserves to hold his championship. And I think Dean Ambrose, again, I think it's WWE's fault. Dean Ambrose has kind of ruined the United States Championship. Again, WWE's fault, not Dean Ambrose. And now he's like, what, the longest reigning United States champion. Not really excited about that, because I don't think he deserved it. But anyway, like I said, Seth Rollins gets a pin on Big E and Big E Langston. So, you guys want to see a match? Well, this next one wasn't really a fucking match, in my opinion. Xavier Woods versus Fandango. Fandango picks up the win after, probably a minute match. So, I have to give this a 0 star, because it wasn't no stars. Absolutely no fucking stars whatsoever. It doesn't deserve any, because there was not really any wrestling. It seemed like, hey, you guys better go up, take a piss, and oh look, the match is done. It might as well have been a piss break match. Anyway, like I said, 0 stars with Fagdagno picking up the win. So we got Punk taking on one of the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn. And even with the multiple interferences from the Road Dogg, Punk still ends up picking up the win in this 1.5 star match. And Gotta say, even though we know that Road Dogg would have got involved even if Punk didn't engage him, Punk kind of brought it on himself on this one because Road Dogg was sitting down at the table doing some okay commentary. He has a good commentator voice, I'll give him that. But he was doing some commentary, and Punk attacked him, and then, you know, he got involved a few more times in the match. But like I said, Punk still ends up picking up the win. Not even by DQ, he actually ends up pinning Billy Gunn. And I gotta say, Billy Gunn did really well for being 50 years old. And yeah, he just turned 50 like a week. No, last week, not even a week ago. So happy 50th for you. But I think you're doing really well for a 50-year-old man, and like I said, 1.5 stars, and Punk ends up picking up the win. And then we continue these weird, like, who's the best Mexican matches in WWE, with Rey Mysterio taking on Del Rio. This match ended by tap out with, of course, the Del Rio getting the win after doing an what does he call it? The cross arm breaker or something like that on Rey Mysterio. This match was pretty good. It was a 2-star match. So I think after tonight and what's been happening in the last few weeks, maybe in the last few months, WWE's really trying to strengthen up their tag team division because they realized it was lacking for a while. And they're even getting the girls involved in this because they had AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka versus the Funkadactyls, my bad. And Naomi ends up picking up the win on AJ Lee in this 1-star match. It wasn't that good because I didn't really like the way it ended. I thought it was kind of bullshit that people keep pinning AJ by getting roll-ups. It's kind of stupid. And where the fuck was Tamina? She just barely tagged in AJ. Why the fuck didn't she come in and save AJ? It's kind of stupid. Anyway, like I said, 1-star match with Naomi picking up the pin on AJ Lee. More tag team action on Raw. We had the Usos taking on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper from the Wyatts. And the Usos once again end up picking up a win against the Wyatt family after the distraction from Bray coming out and beating the holy hell out of Bray Wyatt, which I thought was funny. And then, of course, everybody has to chant yes, yes, yes. And this match was a solid 2-star match. And I gotta say, I'm loving the Usos beating the big guys. I always love it when the underdogs come out on top. Are you ready for a main event? Well, it wasn't that much of a main event. We had Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Randy Orton was trying to prove that he could beat Kofi after what happened last time when he faced Kofi and Kofi won. But this time, I don't really know what they officially ruled it. I mean, in my book, it was Orton wins via disqualification because John Cena came out and started beating the holy hell out of him after Kofi Kingston pretty much told him to go for it and was helping him. But I think they'll probably officially rule this as no contest, and I thought it was a 1-star match. It wasn't really that long. You knew it wasn't going to be long because they've been hyping up, oh, when's John Cena going to come in? When's John Cena going to come in? When he's going to come in? Oh my god, I want him to come in, blah, blah, blah. And that doesn't really make for a great main event, especially when all John Cena did was beat him a few times and then chase him out of the arena. Wasn't really that great. I mean, I would have loved to see something a little better than that. Maybe Kofi beating him and then John Cena going and beating him out of the arena. That probably would have brought it up to a 2-star match. But like I said, wasn't a great main event. Not really sure what they officially ruled it. 1 star. And that's what the main event was for Raw. So that was the January 20th, 2014 edition of Monday Night Raw, dubbed the Batista's Return. And I gotta say, Future Wrestling Observer didn't think that highly of this Raw. We gave it a whopping 1 star. Probably didn't even deserve that, but there was a few 2-star, even a 1.5 star match in there, so it needed to get at least higher than 0.5 or 0 stars. So, like I said, 1 star. And I'm Chris Helix. You've been watching Future Wrestling Observer. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below. And I'll see you next time on Future Wrestling Observer.